That, in actual fact, in yellow and black, is Nicholas Klingberg. But we've just been talking about Tony Rickardsson. He has dropped only 4 points around Wimborne Road this season. Can he be beaten here tonight, Sam Amalenko?
Well, it's an opportunity for Sweden to actually shine because they're coming here for the first qualifying round for the World Cup. I'm sure he's not going to make any mistakes. It's his home track.
Tony Rickardsson off the inside in green, then Mark Laram for Great Britain off gate 2 in red. Then it's Sweden's Nicholas Klingberg, yellow and black, off gate 3. And off the outside in blue, Gary Havelock, the 1992 world champion, won it a year before the man alongside me, Sam Amalenko, here. And the early stages of this match, very, very important in this World Cup warm-up. And as we've already mentioned a little bit earlier, Sweden will feature here at Wimborne Road, Poole, in the World Cup later this summer, as the riders prepare for action here in this test match between Team Great Britain and Sweden here at Wimborne Road. And already we see a problem perhaps there for Mark Laram, and referee Frank Ebden will have to make a decision on that one already here tonight. Stopped. And what was your view of that one, Sam? I know we'll take another look at it pretty shortly, but, well, a pretty tense, nervous start from the riders there in heat number 1.
I'm giggling a little bit because that just goes to show the pressure and who wants to do well. Oh, Mark Laram really wanted to beat Tony into that first corner, and his best chance was going to be to let the clutch out first, but not that quick. He actually just touched the tapes, and wonder what the referee's going to say about that. Well,
obviously a nervous and tense start here. And it looked very much as though Tony was looking good there in the early stages, but Mark Laram was there into the tapes, and we await the final confirmation from Frank Ebden, of course, the referee here this scene 2 in blue. It's Gary Havelock for Team Great Britain, also a full pirate. Gate 3, yellow and black, Nicholas Klingberg, not currently in the Sky Sports Elite League. And from the outside and from 15 metres back, it's Mark Laram of the Eastbourne Eagles for Team Great Britain. We finally get test match underway, and Gary Havelock has made a great start there, and Havelock responds to the pressure down the back straight. It's Gary Havelock from Tony Rickardsson, with Nicholas Klingberg third and Mark Laram at the back, perhaps not surprisingly from 15 metres of course, but that was a great start from Gary Havelock.
How about that? Tony comes here and Havy makes a start on him, and now he could be beaten for the 5th time by a teammate.
You were absolutely spot on, Sam. Gary Havelock is no slouch. Here comes Rickardsson. Rickardsson tries to go wide. Havelock will hug the inside line. Still Rickardsson will go wide. Mark Laram's going to try to get Klingberg at the back as well. Tony Rickardsson then goes wide around turns 3 and 4 here. Gary Havelock knows every inch of this Wimborne Road track, using great intelligence there, and Tony Rickardsson has got 1 lap now to try and make an impression. 2 races in 1 here. Rickardsson at the front trying to get round Havelock. Laram at the back trying to get round Klingberg. But Gary Havelock is a hero for Team Great Britain in race number 1. At the back there, Mark Laram, we think, just missed out with a brave effort on Nicholas Klingberg. But we said there that all the pressure was on Gary Havelock, the 1992 world champion. You quite rightly pointed out, Sutton Sam, that Gary Havelock is no slouch.
Yeah, Gary Havelock. Now that's puts another one on his notch. He just beat the current world champion from the gate. And how fast has Tony been all year from the start?
Listen to that noise as the Poole fans and the Great Britain fans here tonight.
Yeah, it's hard enough trying to hold off Rickardsson, I'm sure, for 4 laps, but trying to let Mark catch up as well. Not an easy ride for you.
It was quite easy, actually, you know. The hardest bit was the first corner, obviously.
Yeah.
I made a good start, but Tony made a good one as well.
Heck of a ride,
I really had to try and lay it on him, and we had a bit of a tangle. Managed to just get out of the corner in front, and then just a case of keep my head down and going as fast as I could and try not to make any mistakes.
You've got a second chance, obviously, because you're off gate 4 in the first start and Mark touched the tapes. Were you pleased to come into gate 2? Did you feel that was a better chance?
To be honest, gate 4 was really good.
Okay.
And I felt like I could have made a good one, but it's a long way to come in heat 1.
Sure.
So, you know, maybe it worked anyway, so I've got to be happy with that.
You didn't leave the line very much at all. You sort of hugged that line and you generated a lot of speed.
Yeah, well, you know, especially in heat 1, there's dirt still around the line, and I know Tony likes to go wide, and I thought if he's got to do it, he's got to have to do it the hard way.
Okay.
Well, guys, I've got to stop you there because we're almost at heat 2. Let's join Sam and Nigel.
Yes, heat number 2 is here then off the inside for Team Great Britain in red. It's Carl Stonehewer of Workington in the Premier League. Daniel Mermark of Wolverhampton, a late call-up into the Swedish side as a replacement for Stefan Andersson. He's off gate 2 in green. Gate 3 in blue, another Wolverhampton rider, Paul Hurry. And off the outside in yellow and black from the Kings Lynn Knights, Freddie Eriksson for Sweden here. Heat number 2, and Daniel Nermark, the man in green, only got the call at 10 o'clock this morning to make the journey to Poole here tonight. And it's his full international debut, Daniel Nermark of Sweden in green here, as we prepare for heat number 2. And it's a good start off the inside from Carl Stonehewer, and Paul Hurry looks like he's about to join him, sweeping around the outside. Despite the best efforts at the back there of Nermark and Eriksson for Sweden, Stonehewer hogs the inside. Paul Hurry goes outside, and Stonehewer's under pressure now from Freddie Eriksson, but it's looking good for Team Great Britain here, Sam.
Eriksson's got the only hope here, but he just gets squeezed out by his old partner there. Seems like Team Great Britain's got it wrapped up. First and second, Nigel, they're going well.
Paul Hurry then, who only 3 weeks ago suffered a fractured scaphoid when riding for Wolverhampton against Poole in the Sky Sports Elite League. He's riding with a special protective cast on his left wrist here tonight, and he's leading the way for Team Great Britain in Heat 2 with Carl Stonehewer, who of course rode in that British Grand Prix at the weekend. He's currently 10th in the Grand Prix series, Carl Stonehewer. Busy schedule for him at Swindon tomorrow night, Arena on Friday, and back at Workington on Saturday. But it's going to be a big 5-1 here for Team Great Britain. Paul Hurry is there, Carl Stonehewer follows him home, and Daniel Nermark and Freddie Eriksson trying hard. We suspected that perhaps the Great Britain reserves looked a little bit stronger on paper than the Swedish duo. That's how it's proved to be in heat number 2, and that man Paul Hurry is congratulated by Carl Stonehewer on a fine ride. And as we mentioned, that injury for Paul Hurry, quite a remarkable achievement that he's riding so soon after that.
Right, you must be very pleased.
Yeah, it didn't make a bad start really. I didn't make a very good one. Stoney got there, but he just enabled me to get the run down the outside of him and past him. Then I had a look coming off the corner to see where the others were, and I saw one of them was quite close to him, so I did sort of do a bit of a left turn just to fill him in a bit. But that's what we've got to do.
So that wrist injury is obviously not giving you too much jip tonight?
No, it's not too bad. It just ached quite a bit. It's only like 3-4 weeks since I've done it, so it's still sort of new.
OK, thanks very much, Paul. Back to the commentary team.
In green, he rides for Wolverhampton in the Sky Sports Elite League. Lee Richardson off gate 2 in blue of the Coventry Bees. Gate 3, it's Andreas Jonsson in yellow and black, also of the Coventry Bees, and Scott Nicholls off the outside in red of the Ipswich Witches. But significantly here, Sam, 2 former Poole riders in Scotty Nicholls and Lee Richardson for Team Great Britain. How significant is that?
Well, just look at the lineup in itself. These guys are great. I mean, Andreas Jonsson, we know.
Great Britain ahead by 8 points. Jonsson is there alongside Peter Carlson, and it's looking good for the Swedes in the early stages here. What can Great Britain do about this now? Lee Richardson is going to try and go wide around the outside and split the Swedish duo, but these 2 guys looking good. Andreas Jonsson ahead of Peter Carlson for Sweden.
Andreas Jonsson, he's just got such a fluid freestyle on that motorbike. Just watch his body English through the corners. Just let the bike go, just whoa, just pulls him out of the corner. Peter Carlson just wrapping up for second place. I don't think England's got any answer for these guys.
The Swedes are looking as though they're going to bounce back straight away. It's a good response to that 5-1 in Heat 2 that Great Britain got. But here in Heat number 3, Andreas Jonsson on the Coventry Bees in the Elite League, 11th at Cardiff at the weekend in the British Grand Prix, and Peter Carlson, who currently isn't in the Grand Prix, but surely only a matter of time before he returns. He's got the qualifying rounds this weekend, and it's a 5-1 for Sweden here. Andreas Jonsson and Peter Carlson are there for Sweden. There's no answer there on that occasion from Lee Richardson and Scotty Nicholls. Disappointing at the back, Scotty Nicholls. He'll be hoping to do better. Just as conclusive as the last race, that one, and you get the feeling tonight that this meeting...
And a great start for you tonight, and if that heat hadn't gone so well, it wouldn't have been so level, so you brought it right back level again.
Yeah, you know, now we're stuck into it, so hopefully these boys can do a good heat again and bring us up in the lead.
Happy?
Great, gate 3 actually didn't look so good earlier on, and your bike just seemed to launch off the start there.
Yeah, I just find a perfect spot next to 4, and it just took away really good. And going into the corner as well. Going in is a bit slick, but then from mid-track, going out is like really grippy line there. So
do you think that's the result of the new material that they put on the track, that grip in the middle of the track?
Yeah, you know, the track seems so much better than it was last time I was riding on it, and it's a great racetrack, I think.
Andreas, real quick, what's the feeling in the Swede camp? We know the Brits are up for it. How about you guys?
You know, everyone wants to win. You know, everyone's going 100% for it. So, you know, I think it could be a good night.
All right, thanks a lot. It's a great meeting so far. Let's get back to commentary.
And this is heat number 4 with Freddie Eriksson of Gate 1 in yellow and black. Freddie of the Kings Lynn Knights in the Elite League, of course. Paul Hurry out here again. He's a winner first time out. He goes off Gate 2 in blue. Gate 3 in green. Michael Carlson of Wolverhampton, a teammate of Paul Hurry's in the Elite League. He rides gate number 3 in green. And Joe Screen off the outside in red for Great Britain, the skipper tonight of Team Great Britain, the 1993 World. That's Joe Screen off the outside in red. And it looks once again as though it's Sweden who've made the better start here, because Michael Carlson has made a fine start. Joe Screen down the back straight is going to be taken by Freddie Eriksson, and now Great Britain have got some work to do in this meeting already in the early stages, because Michael Carlson, who's in great form, one of the most consistent riders in the world at the moment, is doing the business for Sweden, and Joe Screen is trying everything to get round Freddie Eriksson.
If I had a chance to say something before that start, I predicted it was Freddie Eriksson on the inside having a chance. Mix it up. Michael Carlson is really in good form this year, but Joe Screens just took care of Freddie Eriksson now in second place. It's turned out to be a good race, just kind of figuring the track out.
Michael Carlson is one of only 4 riders in the Elite League that are currently averaging over 10 points. He's a model of consistency. He really is a world-class act these days, and he loves riding Wimborne Road, that's for sure. Always does well here. And already we see now in the closing stages, this is not cut and dry. Joe Screen collides with Freddie Eriksson. Eriksson hits the fence. That's an interesting one in the closing stages, because Freddie Eriksson didn't give up there. Joe Screen was working hard. We think we can see the red exclusion light on here in race number 4. We think that's a red exclusion light, and Joe Screen could well be thrown out of that one, and Team Great Britain up against it. But Freddie Eriksson is hurt. So, interesting stuff in heat number 4, and the red exclusion light confirmation. It's an exclusion for Joe Screen in red, and Sam, I presume that was the correct decision in your eyes?
Well, actually, I'd like to see it again, because I was getting all excited about how good Michael Carlson was getting out in front there riding that, but it's hard to say. They look like they just mixed it up going into the corner, and then Joe had one chance. This is a funny kind of surface at the outside. He goes in, doesn't really get there, but look at 5-1 right now going to Sweden, but Joe's up in that high line racing. Now, the whole time, Freddie and Joe, when we're watching this race from where we're sitting right now, they were having a bit of a battle. You'll probably see in the next view here, there's Michael out in front. You can just see right now Joe going on the outside. Now, Freddie and Joe both were kind of passing each other through the whole race now. And if you watch, there's another point here, and I think Freddie just gets the best of Joe coming off the corner here. Not this corner. We're not really seeing exactly what I've seen earlier, but here you go. Freddie just goes by Joe, and he actually in the lap before that didn't give him any room. As he comes across, I don't really think that that's a bad call. It's just unfortunate that he just got. He's just really inexperienced about the fact that Joe came underneath him.
The most important thing is that Freddie Eriksson is up and about at the moment, and that's always good to see. The race is awarded. It's a 5-1 to Sweden, and Sweden lead by 14 points to 10 here at Wimborne Road after Great Britain took an early lead at 8 points to 4.
Watched it, you know, in real time, but you know, looking at the replay there on the monitor, it seemed a bit harsh to me. It seemed like Joe was already past him. And, you know, he sort of turned across a little bit and just caught his back wheel, and it was just a racing accident. But, you know, Joe certainly came under him, but he certainly didn't change his line and take him out.
Tough one, though, for the referee, Gary, isn't it? Because somebody actually calls to stop it of the race. We're actually going to watch it again now, I think, if we're lucky. We're going to see it coming in. Talk us through it.
Well, you see, Freddie had gone right around the outside and turned back and generated a lot of speed. He's come under Joe there. Joe's instantly turned back. Now, as he's passed him here, Joe doesn't really change his line very much. And
we might actually see it on a better angle now.
Yeah, here we go. Joe turned back up the inside. Now Joe's passed him there. Freddie's come back up the inside, put his leg down, try and slow himself down and come off.
To me, it looks like a fairly genuine racing accident.
Sure,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody at fault, but it's one of those scenarios where the referee actually has to exclude somebody.
Yeah, once you stop the race like that, you've got to exclude somebody, so we've been unlucky.
It's going to be an intense battle all the way through, I think, isn't it?
Certainly is. You know, Sweden, they're a world-class side, and you know, we got our job on our hands to try and stop them, but all the boys are fired up, and we're going to do the best we can.
All right, well, it definitely looks as though everybody's fired up for tonight.
Sure.
We'll let you get back because I know you want to talk to him.
Thanks,
and
Gary.
It sounds as though
I did really good gate there for me, and you know, I was quick on the racetrack too, and I'm really pleased.
So we've heard about the track being a little bit different condition-wise. How are you finding it?
I think it's a little bit more dirt there than it normally is, you know, when we go to Poole, but it's good. That's how we like it too. So,
okay, thanks very much. Back to the commentary team.
Yes, thanks very much indeed, Jane. And heat number 5, Tony Ricardson is out here for the latter stages of the meeting. Scott Nichols goes off the inside. Nicholas Klingberg gate 2 in yellow and black. Lee Richardson off 3 in blue. Tony Ricardson off the outside in green. But we've seen Nichols and Richardson struggle so far in their one ride, and Tony Ricardson was beaten by Gary. Is it just a case of getting a feel for the conditions and the setup, Sam? In this heat number 5, they come up against the world champion who's on the outside here in green. And that's a great start from the duo. Scott Nichols and Lee Richardson have it, but it looks like Tony Ricardson is going to make a real determined bid to go around the outside of the rider in blue here, Lee Richardson. But at the moment, Scott Nichols has the lead, and it's a 5-1 to Great Britain. Can they hold it, Sam?
They're going for it right now. Scott Nichols very impressed. Really good start. Look at the lead he's already. Lee's got to tackle it now. He's got to hold him back now for that those vital 5 points from helping. But he's got Ricardson coming up the inside of him. What a race!
So in the lead of Scott Nichols, Lee Richardson second, with Tony Ricardson third and Nicholas Klingberg at the back. And Ricardson, who, as we said earlier, dropped only 4 points here at Wimborne Road in league meetings this season. His home average is 11.56 this season. That is almost perfect, but he's being beaten here by Scott Nichols and Lee Richardson, who are the pride of Britain here in heat number 5. Scotty Nichols of the Ipswich Riches and Lee Richardson of the Coventry Bees have downed the colours of Tony Ricardson, the reigning World Speedway champion here, and the Britain fans celebrate here at Wimborne Road tonight. Heat number 5, and that is just what the doctor ordered as far as Great Britain.
compared to your first run, much better, eh?
Well, yeah, forget about the first one. I just couldn't, you know, there was a line in the first one, I just couldn't seem to. They were ahead, and I didn't give up, but it was very little I could do from back there. But in that one, I just, you know, what a difference getting a good start can make. You just got a clear track, you can go where you want, and seemed to be working good.
Yeah, you got away nicely and your speed was good. Do you think there's a big difference between the inside start and the outside start?
And yeah, so the first one, the outside start, I actually jumped too much. I thought it weren't going to be grippy, and I jumped, but then because it's the race line, you get out 5 yards and you spin, so you can't actually get the run across. So yeah, the inside start is probably favourable. A little bit of a dirt line doesn't mean the outside might not be so bad.
Well done again, Scotty. We'll let you get back, and Goody.
In green, Gary Havelock, gate 2 in blue. Daniel Lermark, gate 3, yellow and black. Mark Laram off the outside in red. It's certainly an interesting one here. Michael, a winner first time out, and Gary.
Well, with these top-class riders, you would think that if they've been out on the track once and it didn't work out for them, they go.
He goes off the inside, and Gary Havelock once again has made a fantastic start for Great Britain. Mark Laram somewhat surprisingly at the back. Michael Carlson will go wide to try and get around Gary Havelock here. It's going to be a brave effort this. Look at that from Michael Carlson. We said he loves riding Wimborne Road. Mark Laram trying to get around Daniel Lermark now. 2 races in one. Once again, what about that from Michael?
Woohoo! Michael just put a move on Hammy. Hammy now's got to watch out because here comes Daniel Lermark. And look at Mark Laram high and wide going right around him. Can he do it? Oh, he's being squeezed out just right there. What a move.
Brilliant speedway here at Wimborne Road. Michael Carlson the leader, but Daniel Lermark is riding his socks off here for Sweden. Under pressure from Mark Laram, with Gary Havelock currently in second place. No doubt about the leader. That is all done and dusted as far as we're concerned. The race win will be Michael Carlson's, and Daniel Lermark will be the hero for Sweden there as well, because he has held off the determined challenge of Mark Laram, a former Poole rider and a former world champion. A real feather in the cap for that Swedish youngster, Daniel Lermark. In red for Great Britain, the skipper of Great Britain tonight. Peter Carlson, gate 2 in green for Sweden. Gate 3 in blue, it's Carl Stonehewer for Great Britain, and Andreas Jonsson, that man who looks so impressive first time out. He's off the outside in yellow and black.
Prediction?
Go on, then.
I predict that Andreas is just going to make a swoop in first corner.
It's going to be a big 5-1 for Sweden, but look at that. Carl Stonehewer and Joe Screen have made a good start. And in the green helmet, Peter Carlson down the back straight. Very intelligent manoeuvre from Peter Carlson of Sweden. And Andreas Jonsson is at the back. Joe Screen is here again. Screen Machine bounces through for Great Britain. Have we got a race on here?
Well, throw my predictions right out the window because Joe Screen's on fire. He's just out there moving around. PK's on the hunt, though. He's up the inside right now, putting the pressure on. Can Joe hold off?
Joe Screen has the lead for Great Britain here, then determined to make up for his first race disappointment. Carl Stonehewer holds third place, but it looks very much as though the Swedes have got plenty of speed here. Andreas Jonsson is trying his best to get round Stonehewer. And there goes Peter Carlson in the lead now. And Peter Carlson, a brilliant ride with Joe Screen. Wheel-to-wheel action here. They're going into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Andreas Jonsson goes wide at the back. He'll try and dive underneath Stonehewer. Peter Carlson with the lead. Joe Screen second. Carl Stonehewer just edging out Andreas Jonsson. And I tell you what, you could have thrown a blanket over all 4 of those riders. Great skill, great respect for each other. Speedway out of the top draw. That was absolutely superb. Peter Carlson making a good start. Joe Screen then got the better of it. 2 in yellow and black. Nicholas Klingberg, in fact, that's not quite right, is it? Off the inside in blue, Paul Hurry. Gate 2, yellow and black. It is Freddie Eriksson. Gate 3 in red, Gary Havelock. And off the outside in green, Nicholas Klingberg. That's the gate positions then for heat number 8 here. To move there, a big line up here, a big race as well. And Gary Havelock and Paul Hurry have made a great start, but Nicholas Klingberg is endangering the British lead here. He'll put pressure on that man in red, Gary Havelock, and Paul Hurry is under threat from Freddie Eriksson. Once again, you can't take your eyes off this.
Gary's done a really good job getting out front now. He's just got to stay there. Nicholas Klingberg is using the track now. Like I said, there's a little bit of water mixed up with that outside cushion. If you go deep enough, you're probably going to get a little bit of drive. But staying down low right now where Nicholas is, he's getting a bit of drive there. Once it burns that water off there, it should be working better for him.
Gary Havelock then under pressure here from Nicholas Klingberg, and they're wheel-to-wheel down the back straight. Klingberg goes into turns 3 and 4, and will Havelock hold the outside line and take him out here? Yes, he does. It's still wheel-to-wheel. There's absolutely nothing in it here with Gary Havelock and that man in green, Nicholas Klingberg. And full credit to Klingberg here. He's looking good here, and Gary Havelock makes one last dive up the inside. But it's races like that that could decide a test match, and full credit there to Nicholas Klingberg. Freddie Eriksson at the back. That is a share of the spoils then in heat number 8. But my word, we saw some brilliant speedway again there. Nicholas Klingberg, who is in actual fact a Kings Lynn Knights.
Yes, I did. It was a hard race, you know, and it was tight all the race, and but I got him at the finish there, so it was all right.
Are you happy with the way your bike's set up? Because as we keep hearing again and again about the track conditions.
Yeah, it's very hard, especially this race now as well. When it's been raining a little bit on the inside, it was very slick there, so yeah, it's hard to set it up.
Do you think Sweden's going to pull it out the bag tonight?
Yeah, that's why we are here, you know, so we are going to try to do our best to win.
Okay, thanks very much.
Big line up here then, Lee Richardson off the inside in blue for Great Britain, Michael Carlson off gate 2 in green, Scott Nichols gate 3 in red for Great Britain, and off the outside yellow and black for Sweden, it's Daniel Nermark. And in the previous time that Lee Richardson and Scott Nichols were together, of course, it was a 5-1 to Great Britain. The Grand Prix. But up the inside, trying everything is Lee Richardson, and Daniel Nermark is there as well. Oh, down the back straight, anything could happen there. Michael Carlson's gone clear again, and it's Scott Nichols in second, and Lee Richardson is working overtime to block out the challenge of Daniel Nermark. Michael Carlson, though, a comfortable leader here, and the Great Britain duo of Scott Nichols and Lee Richardson appear to be happy to let Michael go and just leave Daniel, the concentration on battling Daniel Nermark out.
Well, battling Daniel Nermark is one thing, but look at Michael, he's in his own race. Who's going to beat this guy tonight? Who knows? Well, it definitely ain't Lee Richardson or Scott Nichols. They're just protecting that 3-all, like you said, Nigel, and they keep Daniel behind them.
Michael Carlson, absolutely superb. A superb style, great to watch, and absolutely absolutely flying as well. Daniel Lermark's not giving up at the back. He's throwing everything at Scott Nichols and Lee Richardson. Michael Carlson can look over his shoulder and celebrate victory. Scott Nichols and Lee Richardson are there. It was hard fought, though, in the minor placings. And Michael Carlson missed it all. He didn't have the best view of the action, although he always enjoys winning races, of course. But the minor placings there, fantastic stuff.
Bad starts. He's usually got enough in reserve underneath him to actually have a go to be able to chase these guys down. He's not being able to do that all night long.
26 to 4, and that is a good start that time from Mark Laram, and Gary Havelock is there as well. And what can Andreas Jonsson and Peter Carlson do about this now? Because Mark Laram has switched machinery, and it's obviously doing the business for him because he has the lead. Gary Havelock is there with him. These two are former teammates, not just here at Poole, but at Bradford as well. Are they going to go and team ride their way to a 5-1, Sam?
Well, Andreas is on the hunt right now. He knows he's got it. If he's going to have a chance to do it, he's going to have to work him hard right now. Look at Mark. He's looking worried. He's rolling the throttle off a little bit to keep old Gary there on the inside of him. Andreas is working the track high and wide right now, getting his wheels in line, and he's going by them. What can they do now?
And Andreas Jonsson has split the British duo, but Gary Havelock is there again on the inside. Mark Laram is going to have to try and slow it down here, but Andreas Jonsson is going to try and take Mark Laram wide as well. The Coventry youngster, Andreas Jonsson, has burst through. Jonsson will go wide. Mark Laram will try up the inside. It's going to go to the wire. Oh, it doesn't get much closer than that. That was absolutely breathtaking speedway. And Peter Carlson, who is unbeaten by an opposing rider, he just had the view at the back and wasn't even in contention. And that's how close it is. Andreas Jonsson and Mark Laram. Whoa. We've got to get our breaths back after that. We are seeing some brilliant speedway tonight. It looked, for all intents and purposes, as though Mark Laram and Gary Havelock were on for the 5-1.
Just go by it, and he does. He goes right up the inside, Nigel, and got a great corner right there, and comes out in front.
Well, if anybody is qualified to talk about team riding, it's you, Sam. Down the years, you've become known as an expert team rider, but even you, with Andreas Jonsson up your exhaust pipe, you'd be struggling, wouldn't you?
There's a time when you got to let your partner go and keep going. Mark Laram just shows his loyalty to Great Britain right then, and he says, okay, we've just...
I think they were like riding pair, and they were looking for each other, so I think they were kind of slowing down a bit, so got me a better chance, and I was just lucky that I come past Heaven, and I just leave me a gap on the inside so I can dive under Lorem. Great.
It was a fantastic race to watch. You know, 1 minute you were inside, then you were outside. After the start, did you think you were going to be able to win the race?
Not really, though. I didn't have the best start, and I was kind of last nearly, and no, I didn't think that. So it should be hard to get one of them.
Sure, because you had a superb win in your first ride, then you had a duck.
Yeah.
You know, you're up 1 minute and down the next,
yeah.
and just for a moment it looked like you're going to be out of the points again.
My second heat I missed the start a bit, and the bike was too weak to go in the dirt, so
right.
I had to put another teeth on to make it stronger for the second one, and it got a lot better, so okay. I'm happy.
Well done again, Andreas. We'll let you get back to the
superb ride. Thanks
well done.
much.
Well, as we've said,
we're just talking there in the break about whether to decide to do team riding, whether to go for the win, and you perhaps wish that you'd gone for the win.
Yeah, that's right. I wish I had gone for the win now, but like I say, hindsight's a wonderful thing, and it's a team event, and I tried to help Gary round because he was on the slippery stuff where it had a bit of rain, and unfortunately come unstuck in an Andreas course with her trousers down. But fair play to him, he rode a good race, but I just tried to keep Javi in the picture maybe a bit longer than I should have, but there you go.
So we got the race there on the screen there. Can you talk us through?
Yeah, well, like I say, it's just I obviously think here we're all right, and I'm trying to slow down a little bit, and at this point I thought on the inside was Gary, and obviously I didn't know it was him till the last minute, so that was very unfortunate, but at the end of the day, that's racing. I tried to do my best for Team England and or GB and come unstuck. But we just had a chat about it, and I think we've got to go out and just get the race wins now, and everyone pick up what they can from the sort of final standings.
Right, okay. I just saw the Great Britain team having a bit of a team chat. Was that basic about that heat, or in general of the rest of the race?
I think in general, because the Swedish boys are very quick, and if you get in front of them, I think we've just got to try and get our heads down and backsides up in the air and get going and make the race win, as opposed to what I just done there, try to sort of help Gary along. But we've all just agreed with that now, so it won't look like we're just being greedy.
Okay, and obviously you went on your second bike there. You're going to stick with that bike?
Yeah, I tried another one to begin with tonight. Apart from, Tony moving in that first one, it sort of foxed me into the tapes a bit, and I weren't very settled in the second race. So I've jumped on my other bike now and certainly felt a lot better in that one.
Okay, best of luck. Back to Kelvin and Jonathan.
Meeting tonight, Nicholas Klingberg, so impressive at his last ride. He goes off the inside in yellow and black. Gate 2 in red, it's Joe Screen for Great Britain, the skipper. Gate 3 in green, it's Tony Ricardson, the world champion, who hasn't won a race here yet tonight. And Carl Stonier off the outside in blue for Great Britain. It's not very often that here at Wimborne Road you have to wait until heat 11 before Tony Ricardson potentially wins. So far for Tony Ricardson, the world champion. The red lights are on here for some reason. Just trying to work out why we have...
Maybe they don't want Tony to ride his new bike.
Well, apparently got excluded for delaying the start, but I clearly saw that he was just getting his fog out of his goggles, and I think that's a bit harsh because it's a bit misty out there, and the goggles fog up pretty easy. It's a very, very harsh decision, but he won't change his mind. It's
a final decision, is it?
That's his final decision.
So you're going to put another rider out?
Yeah, I'm putting Daniel Nermark in now.
Okay, then. Back to the commentary team, Sam Emelianenko and Nigel Pearson.
Daniel Nermark off the inside, it's Joe Screen, and we see Tony Ricardson and Daniel Nermark. And, well, it's looking good for Sweden here, although the man in red, Joe Screen, goes round the outside of Daniel Nermark, but at the back, it's Carl Stonier. Tony Ricardson on a change of machinery here. It looks like it's working wonders for the world champion. And who can stop Tony Ricardson in this one?
Can Joe go round the outside, but now he's only just taken down Daniel Nermark. Now he's on the hunt for Tony, but I don't think he's going to have an answer for him. He's got to worry about Nermark, because Nermark is really clever up the inside, so Joe's got to be very careful there, Nigel.
Tony Ricardson, a comfortable leader here now, similar to his teammate Michael Carlson throughout the night. Joe Screen off the inside line. Daniel Nermark is third. And this young Swedish rider who's ridden the majority of his British career at reserve for Wolverhampton, he's at reserve for Sweden tonight, and he's doing a great job for his country. Coming in for Nicholas Klingberg here, there is Tony Ricardson, the race leader, making no mistake. Joe Screen is there for second place, but the gap opens up even more, and Daniel Nermark's third place there could prove crucial with 4 races to go. The controversy will go on and on and on. We've seen some great racing, some controversy. What a night here, and finally Tony Ricardson can celebrate victory in heat number...
It feels pretty good. We changed bike. We was testing a few things on the first bike, but it didn't really work out very good, and feel a little bit more confident on the second bike.
And a 4-point lead, more importantly.
Yeah, sure do. I think I think hopefully it's a good match to watch. It's been some good racing and stuff, and
it has.
Yeah, it's fairly tight as well on the point thing. So I just hope we can keep the 4 points lead towards then after heat 15.
Were you slightly surprised that Nicholas Klingberg got excluded there?
Yeah, couldn't believe it. Could not believe it. We were just standing and waiting for everybody, each other to get ready, and he was coming in, and none of us else was ready either. So I was like, what the hell is going on there?
Yeah, it was.
You've had a few run-ins with the law, as it were. On Saturday night, you didn't have so much fun. Now Nicholas is not doing it.
Yeah, I guess. Well, normally, what goes around comes around, but I'm just waiting for my turn to come around. Yeah, it was a little bit, but I things that happen, and sometimes it be some funny decisions, and you just got to live with it,
Going back to Saturday, obviously we didn't get a lot of chance to talk to you. Heat at the moment, yeah, fine, but on reflection, it's great for us. The championship is just where we need it, nice and poised, 2 guys leading it, and very close all the way. But how did you see Saturday for you?
We felt really strong all the way through the meeting. We weren't really sure about bike setup, but we was winning races, and I was just coming to the point where I started to feel really good, and I hope that I could give the other guys a good run for the money. But for me, the green light never came on in the race.
No.
So, and the starting marshal, when he put the arms together, that's like when the green light should come on. It didn't come on, and he put the hand up in front of my face and shook like that with his hand, and that means like something is a problem.
Yeah.
It's a problem, and it was a problem. Yeah. So that's when I pulled back, and then boom, the green light comes on, and
But in the replay, when we watched it, Tony, you didn't really make that bad a start. But was it a situation where your concentration had been broken?
Yeah, I just lost.
You didn't go through your normal routine.
Yeah, I was just so pumped, for the race. And I was like, and then when the green light didn't come on, I was like, come on, get on. And then I saw his hand. It's like, okay, we got a problem. So I pulled back, and then boom, the green light's on. Yeah. And I didn't know what to do. Dropped the clutch and went, and I made bad start, and I was so upset that it didn't stop the race.
In your eyes, you made a bad start. It still looked pretty good to me.
Yeah, no, I didn't make it, so I was really in a bad position coming out of the first corner. I thought the red light was going to come, and never came on. And
at that stage, the track had gone very greasy, and although you tried hard, it was difficult to get through the traffic.
Yeah, I don't think the track and the rain didn't matter too much. It was just the incident happened there. They probably could have beat me anyway, but I would have liked to give it a fair chance.
Okay. Thanks, Tony. Well, listen, we'll let you get back to the pits and watch.
Daniel Nurmark off the inside in yellow and black for Sweden. Scott Nichols gate 2 red, Peter Carlson gate 3 green, Paul Hurry off the outside blue. This is heat number 12, and the Swedish duo of Daniel Nurmark and Peter Carlson have done the business from the start here with Scott Nichols trailing. And could it be Daniel Nurmark, the hero in reserve for Sweden here tonight? Peter Carlson has the lead, and Peter has the double figures here twice already this season. When Wolverhampton have visited here twice this season, Peter Carlson has got double figures, and this is looking good for Sweden, Sam.
For Wolverhampton, that's Peter Carlson and Daniel Nurmark. They ride together at Wolverhampton. They're just out now, comfortably taking up 5 points away from GB. Can they make it up, Nigel? Who's to say?
This could prove absolutely crucial here, because if this stays as it is, with 3 races to go, the difference will be 8 points. Peter Carlson looking smooth and stylish and comfortable. Scott Nichols will go out into the dirt to try and get round Daniel Nurmark. Nurmark, we must remind you, only got the call at 10 o'clock this morning to ride for Sweden tonight, and it looks like he's going to hang on for a maximum here. Peter Carlson fits the air with delight, and the Swedes deliver the goods there. The super Swedes of Peter Carlson and Daniel Nurmark, they get the big 5-1 there, and that could prove crucial in the final analysis, because with 3 races to go, Great Britain are up against it. This is a real test of the British Bulldog spirit.
10 o'clock this morning, so how much pressure was on you to get ready for today?
Nothing really. I just found out today pretty much, so I feel pretty relaxed, And I made a good start the last one, so went good for Sweden.
Your racing is obviously going really well tonight, so you're really putting it together for the Swedish team.
Yeah, I enjoyed this today, so yeah, feeling good, and we're leading now with a couple of points, so looking good.
How are you finding the track?
Yeah, I kind of like it here at Poole. It's a nice racetrack, and I think everyone of us doing well here today, so.
Well, you are doing very well, and we'll leave it there. Back to the comments.
Now, and what better riders can do it? Joe Screen knows how to ride hard. Mark Laram can make the start. Let's see if they can jinx both Michael Carlson and Tony Rickardsson now that they got it worked out. Who knows? It's going to be a heck of a race.
Laram off the inside, Rickardsson off 2, Screen off 3, Michael Carlson off the outside here as we look for Carlson, who's been brilliant tonight. Here, and is it going to be team riding, Sam?
This is the answer. Frank Edmund couldn't help him because he could have delayed somebody. Looked like it was getting itchy now, but the GP boys are out front. They got Rickardsson on their tail. Hold on, guys, hold on.
This is amazing speedway here tonight. Tony Rickardsson is throwing everything at the British duo from Eastbourne of Mark Laram and Joe Screen. Screen goes inside. Michael Carlson is there. Tony Rickardsson is there as well, and Joe Screen could be about to the back, and that is sensational speedway. The 2 Swedes have piled their way through, and Tony Rickardsson has retired. Tony Rickardsson's bike has packed up. Mark Laram gets his first win of the night there. Tony Rickardsson packing up towards the end. Michael Carlson tearing through, and Joe Screen gets a point for his trouble there as well. This test match is not all over yet. 2 races to go, and Great Britain are back in it with a couple of races.
There's Rickardsson with the throttle on hard. Now Joe's up high on Mark Laram right now, and then Tony gets it going here, and he just goes blowing by them. Mark knew this was going to happen. You can see him reading it all the way along, and went out and won the race. And fortunately for Tony Rickardsson, or unfortunately for Tony Rickardsson, his motor went pop. Right there. That's it.
That was unbelievable speedway again then in heat number 13. Great skill and a great win from Mark Laram, and he is in the studio.
Yeah, we say England expects and these boys deliver. Well done, Mark. That's just what we needed. But, well, it could have been so different, couldn't it, for a moment?
Yeah, I didn't make the same mistake again. We had a meeting in the interval and, you know, I waited for Javi in that race and missed out. He snuck through, so it was frustrating because I felt we could have done it another lap to go, but all of a sudden he only missed that line once and I pulled the ground on him and it was too late. I couldn't wait, you know, but again, I've done that mistake once today and it's important to get the race wins.
Yeah. You did want to make it again, but so we hear that you're going to go out in the next race in blue, so the second bike seems to be working a lot better and, you know, you look like you're going to be winning races.
Yeah, it's night and day, to be honest with you, but it's a shame I've missed 2 races at the beginning, but not to worry.
But you're looking forward to the next ride?
Hopefully, yeah. I need to make up some points tonight.
Well, we're not going to distract you any further. We'll let you get back to it.
What exactly did happen?
There was a primary chain that broke, so there you go. It's unfortunate. It was a good race.
You're still smiling?
Yeah, nothing you can do, you know. Nothing I can do if the chain flies off, you know. I just can go out and race as good as I can. And if you have mechanical problems, you have, you know, it's nothing to worry about.
So that was your second bike. Are you going to fix this and go back to your first bike, or what?
I don't know. I think they probably put some of the other guys in for the last race.
OK, well, I'll let you sort out your bike problems. Back to the studio, Kelvin and Jonathan.
Impressive Andreas Jonsson. Mark Laram goes off gate 2 in blue for Great Britain. He is the tactical substitute. Freddie Eriksson goes off gate 3 in yellow and black. And Lee Richardson off the outside in red. Who's got the best gates here, Sam? Who do you fancy making the start? And just made a wonderful start for Sweden. And now here comes the British duo, Lee Richardson and Mark Laram. And the rider in red is Lee Richardson, who's just passed his commentary teammate, Andreas Jonsson. Teammates in the Elite League, and in opposition tonight. And Lee Richardson, the former Poole rider, leads the way. Mark Laram is third. If this stays like it is, then Great Britain would need a 5-1 in the last heat to draw this test match. But Lee Richardson leads it.
Will Lee Richardson take the orders of Neil Middleditch? Don't slow the race down and go for it to help out Mark Laram, but he's under pressure by Andreas now. Oh, just passes him. What a move.
Passing and twisting and turning in every race as Lee Richardson comes back. And this could be a match-winning ride by Andreas Jonsson. Richardson will go wide. Andreas Jonsson struggles to hang on to the machine. Great skill here. Jonsson, Richardson has gone down. That will do it for Sweden. And Lee Richardson has gone down despairingly there for Great Britain when he was trying absolutely everything. But that was spectacular speedway again. Andreas Jonsson and Lee Richardson working against each other. They worked together for Coventry, but tonight they were in opposition. It's commiserations to Lee Richardson, but the
determination he has. Look at that move right around Andreas. What a great move. Unfortunately, didn't work out for him towards the end, and he overcooked it. But what a race he put on, Nigel. That was so good.
There's been a few strange scores when you look down the score charts tonight. Tony Ricardson lacking points, of course, but it works both ways.
Yeah, you can just see Andreas right there just putting the move on Lee Richardson, and Lee Richardson decides to cut back on the inside. These guys ride together, as we've already heard. They both are very young, and they both have a big future, and they're just showing their talent right now on this beautiful track. This is it right there. Oh, that was so good.
They showed a lot of faith in each other there as well, didn't they, Sam? You know, they've got a lot of respect for each other.
They both are very talented. Unfortunately, went down right there, but that's because he's trying hard. Really good racing all the way to the end.
So heat number 14 then, 46-38, the scoreline here. Lee Richardson goes down, and Andreas Jonsson, the hero of heat 14 for Sweden, is down in the pits in the studio.
Yeah, Tony Ricardson maybe, Michael Carson maybe. I think you start remembering this name right now. Well done, brilliant stuff.
Okay, thanks guys, thank you.
Tell us about that, because it was close all the way, and I don't know where your speed came from, but it just got better and better.
You know, I had a really good start. I never thought he should come around, but he came like a bullet on the outside.
Sure.
And I moved out, and he wasn't really going in the dirt. He was just on the edge there, so I thought I'd go a bit wider and find a bit more grip than him. So
let's take a look at the start, and you tell us how you saw it as you see it.
Yeah, I made the start obviously a bit.
But you made a great reaction. The first bike length you were away, Andreas, but halfway to the first corner you sort of snaked a bit.
It's a bit rutty, so that's probably why. And he comes, you can see there, he passes me with a high speed. And in that moment I just thought, you know, I need to move out and go outside of him. And you know, I was pretty lucky that look at him there, he ain't going in the dirt, so I get loads of speed there.
But you're getting filled in, you know, your momentum was stopped there. But I've been really impressed with the way you've generated so much speed after a couple of laps.
Yeah,
it's you can see here I'm starting to get some speed and going faster into the corner and turn later than he did. So,
right. And now coming out of this corner, you got your wheels in line.
I think when he was looking back there, you do a small mistake, even if you don't notice it, but you do a small mistake when you look back, and he just did it in the wrong time.
Right.
So.
But he's your teammate, of course, and there'll be a little bit of rivalry between you two. You'd be quite happy to just sneak a win off him.
It feels pretty good, yeah.
Good night for you tonight. You've enjoyed it, yeah?
Yeah, it's been going really good for me and for the team. You know, we're in the lead, so that feels really good as well.
World Cup coming up, you must be looking forward to that now.
Of course we are, you know, we're trying to get the team together and get a good atmosphere until the World Team Cup.
Well, you've been the star man tonight, you've had 2 superb rides, but slightly unusual that Tony Ricardson hasn't been your star man tonight.
He's been unlucky, you know, his chain come off the last heat. He did a really good heat.
Sure.
And, you know, so...
But that must bode well for your team, because even without his double-figure score, you've managed to really pull off a great win here tonight.
Yeah, you know, everyone in the team's been doing the job tonight. You can see everyone's been scoring good points.
Right.
Like Daniel Neermark's been doing a tremendous meeting tonight, so feels good for the World Team Cup.
Okay.
Well done again, Andreas, and the man, of course, who he pipped, Lee Richardson, brilliant in the Grand Prix, 5th there, but not able to do it quite tonight. Andreas just on stunning form. He's with Jane.
Well, they say no guts, no glory, and you gave it everything you got there, Lee, but it didn't quite work out.
No, it didn't. I tried to dive under Andreas here, and he came in quite tight, and I sort of went across the curb and actually lost my front wheel, and it pirouetted round on me, so a bit of a shame, but you know, that's racing, that's the way it goes. I was having a good race with him, but that's sacrifices sometimes.
That's speedway, as they say. I saw you limping earlier, so you hurt your leg?
Yeah, I did a little bit. When I fell, my knee twisted and sort of whacked my elbow as well, so it was a bit of an awkward crash, really. Rather than a fast one, it's just a bit awkward more than anything, but you know, I just got to be ready for this weekend coming for the Grand Prix qualification, so I was glad I didn't get too badly hurt anyway.
So you had a great weekend as well in Cardiff. How did you feel about that?
Yeah, I was over the moon with the result in Cardiff. Obviously, to finish joint 5th was fantastic for me, and there's no pressure on me there, you know, and I really enjoyed it, and what can I say, really? It was a good meeting, and hopefully I can be in the series next year to go back there, but this time, you know, I want to be actually in the series so I can do all 10 rounds.
OK, tonight, has it whetted your appetite for the World Cup? Because you want to be in the team, don't you?
Yeah, sure. This is a tough meeting against Sweden. They've got a very strong team all the way through, really, from 1 to 7. So, yeah, I want to be in the World Cup, the same as any British rider, really, and wear that Union Jack on your flag, so on your chest, rather, I'm still puffed out. But no, yeah, I'm looking forward to the World Cup and obviously qualifying for the Grand Prix as well.
OK, thank you very much.
Rams on the inside, Michael Carlson 2, Gary Havelock 3, Andreas Johnson off gate 4. Britain do deserve a respectable scoreline here, do they not?
They do. I mean, let's face it, Scotty Nichols didn't have his best form. Mark Laram started on the wrong bike. Unfortunately for him, he hit the tape in the first one. He might have been able to detect that his bike wasn't so good if he would have continued in the...
Andreas Johnson on the outside, this is heat number 15. Mark Laram and Gary Havelock have come out of the start and made a great start in heat 15 here. Michael Carlson and Andreas Johnson, you know that with these two guys behind you, you cannot relax. We've already seen an example of that tonight with plenty of great racing. Havelock's already been taken by Michael Carlson, and again, some great passing here, Sam.
You can't hold back now, Mark. He says, okay, this is the best of the best. I'm out in front of you guys. Come chase me down. I showed you earlier I haven't had problems, but I'm in front of you now. Let's go.
Mark Laram looking superb and showing all the qualities that made him the 2000 World Speedway Champion. He's being chased here by Michael Carlson, but at the back, the 1992 World Champion, Gary Havelock, is being chased by Andreas Johnson. It's quick in a 4-2 situation at the moment, with 1 lap to go of this test match. Oh, does it really have to end? Can we carry on? It's been brilliant. Mark Laram leading the way, heat number 15. Michael Carlson second, and the rider in 3rd place is Gary Havelock, but Mark Laram brings the curtain down on this test match with a fine ride, and once again all 4 riders involved in the thick of the action there in a brilliant heat number 15. And Mark Laram with his 2nd win of the night. He scored 10 maximums here when he was a Poole rider over 2 seasons in 99 and 2000, and he was on maximum form there in heat number 15. Fast and furious, full throttle. Gary Havelock's gone back to the pits. Mark,
you as the world champion always have a lot of pressure on you, but isn't it nice when someone like Andreas comes along and puts a great night in like that?
Yeah, sure do. You know, he really showed us some really good racing and coming from the back and that. But I think the whole team rode extremely well, and you know, little bit better than I actually expected them to do.
And in terms of your preparation, that's just what you needed for the World Cup. You're going to be riding here. You must have your tails up in terms of, well, obviously challenging Australia and whoever else comes near you.
Yeah, you know, Australia got a super strong side, really solid, and all really world top class riders, you know, but who knows, you know, we maybe can upset them.
Well, in the Grand Prix, you've got to watch out, obviously, Ryan Sullivan, but what about this fella?
Yeah, he's sure doing good, and if he can keep this form in the GP, that'll be great too.
Andreas, you must be pleased with that tonight.
Feels good. It's just too bad that I couldn't do a good last heat, but you know, it feels pretty good at tonight, and ended up with 9 points. Ain't too bad.
No, you've ridden brilliantly well. Obviously, probably the starts there was quite crucial there. Obviously, Great Britain getting 1 and 3 probably just gave them the edge in heat 15.
Yeah, you know, gate 4 haven't been the greatest one to go out from, and I didn't make too bad start, but I made too good to cut back, I think. So
made too good a start. Well, you mean you were too near to the guy on 3?
Yeah, I made it. You know, if I missed it a bit more, I could have maybe cut back instead of following the other guys.
Anyway, you've entertained us tonight, Andreas. No question about that. Thanks very much.
Okay.
Well, guys, we'll let you guys go out and celebrate. Good luck to you in the World Cup coming up, and good luck in the Football World Cup as well. We'll be that magnanimous. But well done, guys. But a great night for Swedish Speedway, and not a bad night for British.